So once the data is done importing, you should receive a screen like this. If you receive some sort of error saying some information did not transfer correctly, I'm going to make a different video to kind of show some troubleshooting steps. If you get that error, you can try to re-upload the information again by deleting it and uploading it. But if that gives you problems, then I can just show you another quick way to import the information. But I didn't receive any issues this time, so I'm going to go ahead and close the information. So now really the only thing that's missing, I updated the new monthly information. The only thing that's missing is this monthly exchange rate. So what the exchange rate is doing is converting the inventory positions for the international locations, because in the current file it's in Great Britain pounds, so I need to convert it into a local currency first, because the IT team uses a different exchange rate than the exchange rate that is used in the stock lead report. Let's see, stock lead for me. So what I did, well, the first time I set this up, I had more or less kind of like a template that I was able to go ahead and just import straight into Access to create this monthly table. So this is kind of what it looked like. And this is what I used and is, powering my queries and doing the different conversions. If I were to just open up the E&O summary file real quick, you can see that the exchange rate that the IT team used is in the file. Like I mentioned, the difference is that when I look at the results from the stock lead report that the finance team has been using in the past, the exchange rates that are used are different than what the IT team uses. So this would cause reconciliation issues. So that is why I convert the results from pounds into local currency and then back into pounds. First converting it back into local currency using the IT exchange rate, and then into the right pounds rate using the rate that's in this monthly FX table. So last time I did this, I didn't have another table. So what I did was I just took the rates from the stock lead report on here for each different business units, and I manually entered in the totals. For example, I'll take Poland. It is I can just copy, and for Poland here I would just paste it. So I did that for each of the locations. Once I updated all of them, I just hit close and save and close. And now the only other thing that I have left to do is just to update these other queries. So I do that very simply by just opening each one of these files up. By double clicking on them, you can see that it's running the query. This is just the first mention, as I mentioned early on. The first summary is just a summary that I use just to check the totals for the other two domestic queries. So once I run it, then I close it. It's going to ask me whether I want to save it or not. I hit yes, and then I proceed to do this for all other 7 different files, or queries, sorry. So once I updated all the other 7 different ones and save them, just show you the last one, pretend like I just went through all of them. The query is still running. I would then just close right afterwards. And then once I'm done with all the different queries, typically what I've done in the past is I export them all for my own personal records. So I would just right click on the query, export to Excel. I can select the location where I want this to go. So I can just select a folder, and you can see I saved all the different files in one location. And this is what I then use to then compile the actual Excel documents and get that ready. So Once you follow those different steps, then your access table is good to go, and then you can start working on the Excel portion.